Alara walked away from the serene lake and glowing garden, her mind still processing the revelations she had encountered. The journey through the garden of lost memories was becoming more profound with each step, and she knew that the path ahead would reveal even deeper truths. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm, golden hue over the garden. The air was cooler now, and the shadows grew longer, stretching across the ground. Alara noticed that the garden's atmosphere seemed to change with the fading light, becoming more mysterious and ethereal. As she continued along the path, she came across a dense thicket of trees. The branches were thick and intertwined, forming a nearly impenetrable wall of foliage. Alara felt a curious pull towards the thicket, as if something important lay hidden within. She carefully pushed her way through the branches, feeling the leaves brush against her face. The air was thick with the scent of earth and pine, and the sounds of the garden seemed to fade into a hushed silence. After a few moments, she emerged into a small, secluded clearing. In the center of the clearing was an old stone well, its surface covered in creeping ivy and moss. The well looked ancient, with intricate carvings around its edge that glowed faintly in the dim light. Next to the well was a small, weathered book lying on the ground. Alara picked up the book and brushed off the dirt. The cover was old and worn, but the title was still visible, Whispers of the Past. She opened it and found that the pages were filled with handwritten notes and sketches. The notes described various phenomena and experiences related to the garden, along with cryptic messages and symbols. One passage caught her eye. In the well of memories, shadows whisper truths long forgotten. To understand them, one must listen closely and trust the echoes of the past. Alara looked at the well and wondered what it might reveal. She approached it carefully and peered into the dark opening. The well was deep, and the darkness below seemed endless. She felt a shiver run down her spine, but she was determined to uncover the secrets it might hold. Taking a deep breath, Alara lowered a small lantern she had found in her bag into the well. The light flickered and danced in the darkness, revealing a series of symbols carved into the well's walls. The symbols seemed to form a pattern, leading down towards the bottom of the well. As the lantern reached the bottom, Alara saw that there was a small, hidden compartment. She carefully pulled it up and found a delicate, silver pendant inside. The pendant was shaped like a crescent moon and was adorned with tiny, sparkling gemstones. It had a soft, calming glow. Alara examined the pendant and noticed that it had a small, hinged section. She gently opened it and found a tiny, rolled-up piece of parchment inside. She carefully unrolled the parchment and read the message: "The shadows you seek are reflections of your own fears and desires. To face them, you must confront the echoes of your past and find the strength within." Alara felt a sense of determination. She understood that the pendant and the message were guiding her to face her inner fears and confront the shadows of her past. She took the pendant and put it around her neck, feeling its gentle warmth against her skin. With renewed resolve, Alara continued through the clearing and back to the dense thicket of trees. The shadows seemed to grow darker and more oppressive, and she could hear faint whispers on the wind. The whispers were barely audible, but they seemed to call out to her, urging her to follow. She moved cautiously through the trees, guided by the whispers and the pendant's soft glow. The forest was dense, and the shadows seemed to shift and change as she walked. The whispers grew louder, becoming a chorus of voices that seemed to echo her thoughts and feelings. Alara reached a small, secluded grove where the trees parted to reveal a large, flat stone. The stone was covered in strange symbols and runes, and it seemed to pulsate with an otherworldly energy. Around the stone were several shadowy figures, their forms shifting and flickering in the dim light. The figures seemed to be both present and absent, their shapes constantly changing. They whispered softly, their voices blending into a haunting melody. Alara felt a mix of fear and curiosity as she approached the stone. As she neared the stone, the shadows began to take on more defined shapes. They were not solid beings, but rather manifestations of her fears and regrets. Each shadow represented a different part of her past, and they seemed to reflect her innermost struggles. Alara took a deep breath and faced the shadows head-on. She understood that to move forward, she had to confront these fears and come to terms with them. The pendant around her neck seemed to glow brighter, its light cutting through the darkness. The shadows began to shift and change, forming scenes from her past. Alara saw moments of her childhood, her family's struggles, and her own personal challenges. Each scene was accompanied by a whisper, a fragment of the emotions she had felt at the time. As she watched the scenes unfold, Alara felt a range of emotions, sadness, anger, and regret. But she also felt moments of joy and hope. The shadows were not just reflections of her fears, but also of her strengths and resilience. Alara closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She focused on the pendant and the calming energy it provided. She knew that she had to embrace these shadows, acknowledge them, and find the strength to move beyond them. When she opened her eyes, the shadows began to dissolve. The figures flickered and faded, and the stone's energy seemed to shift. The grove was filled with a sense of peace and clarity. The whispers had quieted, and the shadows had retreated. Alara felt a profound sense of relief and accomplishment. She had faced her inner fears and come to terms with the echoes of her past. The garden had guided her through this difficult process, helping her find strength and understanding. With a sense of calm and resolve, Alara left the grove and continued along the path. The garden's atmosphere felt lighter, and the shadows seemed less oppressive. She knew that she had taken an important step in her journey, but she was also aware that there was more to discover. As she walked, Alara reflected on the lessons she had learned. The garden had shown her the importance of confronting her fears and embracing her past. It had helped her find the strength to face the challenges ahead. The sun had set completely, and the garden was illuminated by the soft glow of moonlight. The path ahead was clear, and Alara felt a renewed sense of purpose. She was ready to continue her journey, knowing that the Garden of Lost Memories had more secrets and lessons to offer. With the pendant around her neck and a newfound sense of clarity, Alara ventured deeper into the garden, prepared to uncover the remaining mysteries and embrace the final stages of her quest.